What is advertising? The difference is only in degree. Advertising is doubling sales. It may attract thousands while one seller talks. It involves a corresponding cost. Some people spend $10 per word on the average of the ad. So they should each ad as a premium seller. Focus on them, not when a potential customer reads your ad, letter, brochure, etc. The only thing he will question from the start is, what does it offer me? And if your copy doesn't tell him, it will go down in the trash faster than he can read the title or lead. Many advertisers make this mistake. They focus on it as a company. How much time they worked, who were their biggest customers, how they spent 10 years of research and millions of dollars developing this product, blah blah. In fact, these points are important. But they must be expressed in a way that interests your potential customer. Remember, once he throws it in the garbage, he loses the sale. Emphasize the benefits, not the features. What are the features? They are descriptions of what the product has. These features mean to your prospects. If you sell an expensive watch, you will not. It tells the reader that the face is 2 inches in diameter and that the tape is made of leather. You show him how a very big face will tell him time at a glance. No, sir. He will not have to stare and seem foolish to everyone around him trying to read this wonderful watch. What about his success and charm when he wears the beautiful golden watch with its handcrafted leather bracelet? How his beloved will find him irresistible when he all dressed up to go out wearing the watch. Or how the case and beauty of the watch will attract the ladies. Pushing her emotional hot buttons. This is where research really comes to life. Because in order to press these buttons, you first need to know what they are. Listen to this story first, and I'll tell you what I mean. Once a young man entered a Chevrolet dealer's showroom to check out the Chevy Camaro. He had money and was ready to make a purchase. But he could not decide whether he wanted to buy a Camaro or Ford Mustang on the road from a Ford dealer. A vendor approached him and discovered the man's dilemma. The seller said, "Tell me what you like best about Camaro." "Car. It is a fast car. I love her for her speed." After more discussion, the seller learned that the man had just started dating a nice college fan. So what did the seller do? Simple. He changed his pitch accordingly, to push the hot buttons that he knew would help push the sale. Tell the guy how much he loves his new girlfriend when he comes home with this car. He put the mind in mind of a man, along with his girlfriend, on a beach trip to Camaro. How all his friends will be envious when they see him riding with a beautiful girl in a beautiful car. Suddenly, the man saw that. He got it. The seller admitted this and collected it more. Before you know it, the guy wrote a pretty check on fat to Chevy, because he's sold out. The seller found those hot buttons and pushed them like never before until the man realized he wanted more Camaro than he wanted his money. Combine proof and credibility. When your potential customer reads your ad, you want to make sure he thinks any allegations you make about your product or service. Because if there is any doubt in his mind, he will not buy, no matter how sweet the deal. Indeed, a very good to be true mentality would virtually guarantee a lost sale, even if it was all true. So what can you do to increase your awareness of credibility? Because after all, it's the visualization that you need to address in advance. But of course you should also make sure that your copy is accurate and honest. Here are some tried and tested methods that will help. If you are dealing with existing customers who already know you are delivering what you promised, then make sure this trust. Don't leave it to them to find out. Have them stop, dampen their heads, and say, "Yes, yes. ABC has never missed me. I can trust them." Include satisfied customer testimonials. Be sure to include full names and locations, where possible. Remember that AS is much less believable than Andy Sherman, Voorhees, N.J. If you can also include a customer photo or professional nickname, this is even better. It does not matter that your testimonials are not from a famous person or that your potential customer does not know these people personally. If you have enough convincing testimonials, and you can believe it, you're better off not including them at all. The unique selling proposition (USP), also known as the unique selling position, the USP is often one of the most oft misunderstood elements of a good sales letter. It's what separates your product or service from your competitors. Let's take a quick look at some unique selling propositions for a product itself. 1. Lowest price. If you've got the corner marketed on budget prices, flaunt it. Walmart has made this USP famous lately, but it's not new to them. In fact, selling for cheaper has been around as long as capitalism itself. Personally, I'm not crazy about price wars, because someone can always come along and sell for cheaper. Then it's time for a new strategy. 2. Superior quality. If it outperforms your competitor's product or is made with higher quality materials, it's a good bet that you could use this fact to your advantage. For example, compare Breyer's ice cream to their competitors. From the packaging to the wholesome superior ingredients, the quality is evident. It may cost a little more than their competitor's ice cream, but for their market, it sells. 3. Superior service. If you offer superior service over your competitors, people will buy from you instead. This is especially true with certain markets that are all about service, long distance, internet service providers, cable television, etc. 4. Exclusive rights, my favorite. If you can legitimately claim that your product is protected by a patent or copyright, licensing agreement, etc., then you have a winner for exclusive rights. If you have a patent, even the President of the US must buy it from you. The headline is that powerful and that important. I've seen many ads over the years that didn't even have a headline. And that's just silly. It's the equivalent of flushing good money spent on advertising right down the toilet. Why? Because your response can increase dramatically by not only adding a headline, but by making that headline almost impossible to resist for your target market. The more you tell, the more you sell. The debate on using long copy versus short copy never seems to end. Usually it is a newcomer to copywriting who seems to think that long copy is boring and, well, long. I would never read that much copy, they say. The fact of the matter is that all things being equal, long copy will outperform short copy every time. And when I say long copy, I don't mean long and boring, or long and untargeted. The person who says he would never read all that copy is making a big mistake in copywriting. He is going with his gut reaction instead of relying on test results. He is thinking that he himself is the prospect. He's not. We're never our own prospects. There have been many studies and split tests conducted on the long copy versus short copy debate. And the clear winner is always long copy. But that's targeted relevant long copy as opposed to untargeted boring long copy. Right to be scanned. Your layout is very important in a sales letter, because you want your letter to look inviting, refreshing to the eyes. In short, you want your prospect to stop what he's doing and read your letter. If he sees a letter with tiny margins, no indentations, no breaks in the text, no white space, and no subheads, if he sees a page of nothing but densely packed words, do you think he'll be tempted to read it? The structure of AIDS. There's a well-known structure in successful sales letters, described by the acronym AIDA. AIDA stands for Attention, Interest, Desire, Action. First, you capture your prospect's attention. This is done with your headline and lead. If your ad fails to capture your prospect's attention, it fails completely. Your prospect doesn't read your stellar copy, and doesn't order your product or service. Then you want to build a strong interest in your prospect. You want him to keep reading, because if he reads, he just might buy. Use takeaway selling to increase the urgency. When you limit the supply of a product or service in some way, i.e. takeaway selling, basic economics dictates that the demand will rise. In other words, people will generally respond better to an offer if they believe the offer is about to become unavailable or restricted in some way. There are basically three types of takeaways: 1. Limiting the quantity. 2. Limiting the time. 3. Limiting the offer. Conclusion. Great copy is made, not born. It is derived from proven test results designed to do one thing and do it well: sell. Effective advertising doesn't always use grammatically correct English. It uses short sentences, fragments. Like this. It convinces you to buy, and buy now. Period. It talks about benefits, not features. It sells on emotion and reinforces the decision to buy with logic. It paints a compelling picture and irresistible offer that forces your prospect to act and act now. And if it doesn't, then you drop that ad like a hot potato and go with one that does. Effective persuasion is like your top salesperson, the one who continues to break all your sales records year after year on the job 24/7, multiplied by thousands or millions. Just imagine if that. The unique selling proposition (USP) is often one of the most misunderstood elements of a good sales letter. It is what separates your product or service from your competitors. Let's take a quick look at some unique selling propositions for a product itself. 1. Lower price. If you have the corner sold at cheap prices, please show it.